All right, Devin, we're going to end this episode of the Super Game Brothers podcast just by talking about, I think, 11 games each that are our most anticipated games of 2025. There's a lot of video games that come out every single year, and so many that I can't play or even talk about all of them, to be honest. But I wanted to highlight a few that we are super excited about. I primarily lean towards kind of indie games, so you'll probably see most of that on my list, but there are a few big ones as well. And I think Devin primarily likes slightly bigger ones, but we'll see. Anyway, so we're each going to go over our top 10 most anticipated video games coming out in 2025. And we're going to have one honorable mention each. These are like a honorable mention remaster. So if it's all right, maybe I'll start. My honorable mention remaster is one that just got delayed because it was supposed to come out last month, I think. But Croc, The Legend of the Gobos. This was one of my favorite games as like a youngling with a PlayStation 1. And so I'm very excited for this one. I do wish that this remaster had the second game with it too, because I'd be really bummed if they didn't get to that one. But hey, I'm excited to start with the first one. I can't even remember what the...
Oh, it looks so much better.
It does. They've cleaned up the resolution a little bit, made it look a little smoother. But it still has that weird... Kapow!
What a nostalgic game. Holy.
Yeah, what a weird one.
Very odd.
Anyway, so that is my honorable mention.
My honorable mention is also extremely odd. It's not about a crocodile, but it's about a lizard that loves watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the Gex trilogy. Coming out, I don't know when. This year.
I don't think there is a date yet, but it is supposed to be this year.
But just dropping on modern consoles? Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, and it's all 3 games, which is really cool.
But no remaster like Gex. Or like Croc. My bad.
Oh, I mean, technically, I think it is a remaster in that they're like bumping the resolution up to, 1080 or 1440 or 4K or whatever. But it doesn't look quite as sharp as Croc does. It definitely looks a little more pixelated.
Oh my goodness. Another nostalgia game.
Yeah.
Holy.
Do you like the first one that's 2D or these other ones that are 3D? Because I liked both of them.
I agree. I like them. The 2D one might be slightly more nostalgic in certain areas.
That Looney Tunes kind of level.
Oh,
the
man.
3D one, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good pull. All right, Devin. Now we're into the top 10. So at number 10 for me, my most anticipated games of 2025. This one is by far the game I'm most afraid of. But I loved the first one. This is Subnautica 2. And in this one, I think I might be slightly braver just because it has co-op in it. They kind of tease here in this trailer. And I think that would make a survival kind of crafting like game like this that is pretty scary a bit more enjoyable
and a bit less scary.
Yep. I don't know why I really got into the first one. It's just kind of fun. Where like you're constantly building a better submarine or upgrading it so that you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it gets scarier and scarier and scarier as you get down there. So it's kind of like this weird risk reward with building better submarines and figuring out what happened on this crazy planet. Hopefully they can capture that lightning in a bottle again. So that is Subnautica 2, my number 10.
My game has a similar aesthetic, but it's completely different. I played Journey to the Savage Planets. When was that? 2 years ago, probably?
Yeah.
What a strange game. I don't remember it too well.
Very funny.
Yeah, super funny game, really unique weapons, and like, here's number 2. I don't remember if number 1 was in third person.
No, I think it was first person.
I wonder if you're able to swap between the two or if this is solely third person. Either way, I'm down. It looks like you're playing with friends as well.
Yep, it's co-op focused.
So similar art style to Subnautica, co-op focused, and above ground where we should stay.
That's true. Less scary, more funny.
Yep. It honestly is going to be amazing. It's called Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Yeah. I loved the first one, so this is a game I'm very
I actually didn't know you played it.
I did. I didn't finish it, I don't think, like you did.
I don't know that I finished it. I must have, I guess.
I think you did on Scream. Stream.
Scream 7.
Yeah. Next up is probably the biggest game, or most AAA or whatever, on my list. And it's mostly just because I really enjoy Bioshock. And this game is from the creator of Bioshock, Ken Levine. It's called Judas. And it looks really cool. Definitely has a similar kind of vibe, but I think it's in space, on a space station. And I'm just excited to see what they can do with a Bioshock kind of like game. But the last game they came out with, Bioshock 3, or what's that called? Bioshock Infinite, was in 2013. So this game will have been 12 years later. And they haven't made a game since. So I hope they've got 12 years of just killer energy and awesome game in here.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
Yeah, I think this one is very kind of hyped, and a lot of people are very much looking forward to it.
I'd have probably put this on my list if I'd have thought about it.
That's all right.
My number 9 is Fable. And I don't really know why. I just remember it as a nostalgic place that seemed like it was only on Xbox at the time. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And watched my friends play it. I don't think I ever actually got a hold of controller playing this game, but it looked fun to me, traversing through the forests and wherever else you go.
It did. I like the comedy vibe of Fable as well. And even in this trailer for this new one, definitely going for that vibe as well. This team of Playground Games, they make Forza Horizon, which are like some of the most well-loved arcade racing games lately. So I hope they can have a hit here with Fable as well. It'd be cool for that franchise to come back.
We've got a crossover for your number 8 here.
Oh, I couldn't remember. I was like, I swear I put that on my list too. Yeah, Revenge of the Savage Planet. I'm very excited about that one too. Kind of gives me like Helldivers vibes, just with like obviously less democracy and more laughing. And I like the quirky space vibe of like, it's like No Man's Sky, but less overwhelming and just like really silly. And the way the dude runs is just funny.
Yeah, it looks way funny.
I'm excited to laugh and play that one in May. It looks like so. That's Revenge of the Savage Planet. Is that my number 8?
Yes, my number 8 is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Ooh, the big one.
Yes, the massive game. And I think that's why it's on my list is I think anyone can enjoy this game doing whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can focus on the campaigns, you can focus on being a menace. You can focus on just wandering around, play with all your friends, get on the little cell phones. I'm sure this game is going to add a ton compared to the first one. It seems enormous.
It does. And it will be. Like they're bonkers over there with the amount of money and time they spend on games. And there's just going to be like so much you can do in there. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be very mature.
Yeah, it will be.
But if you like that kind of game, this will probably be like your almost forever game because you'll play it for a decade. Is this my number 7?
It sure is.
Love Little Nightmares.
Same.
It's just the right level of scary for David. Because I'm kind of a baby when it comes to scary things, especially scary games. I'm more brave with movies because I'm not controlling the character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Little Nightmares 3. I'm a little nervous because it's not being made by Tarsier, the same team that made 1 and 2. They're making that other horror game that kind of has a similar vibe that I forgot the name of. So hopefully Supermassive can make a really cool one. I would hate for Little Nightmares to go out on like a dud, but It looks cool. The vibe looks right.
Truly.
And I'm excited for it to be co-op focused.
That's so big.
Mm-hmm.
Making every game co-op is the right play.
It is crazy how many of these picks we've had are like co-op first.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be more common right now. Wonder why.
Yeah, I'm
because
unsure.
even Little Nightmares 1 and 2, I think the second one, I don't even know if you can play it with another player. But I think a lot of teams and companies have been afraid to, if we make a game co-op first, if somebody doesn't have like a friend that is dedicated to play it with, then they won't buy our game. But I feel like ever since It Takes Two was like a humongous success, more teams are like okay with it. So, anyways, very pumped about that one.
Number 7 for me is the, I want to say sequel to Ender Lilies, or no?
It's the second game from this team. I don't know. I've tried to avoid all details about it, so I don't know if it's like a sequel in the same way. It's like the same character continuing a story.
This is Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist. I have not played Ender Lilies, but I have watched enough gameplay to know that I would enjoy it thoroughly.
It's great.
So I'm very excited about this coming out in, what'd you say, a week?
Yeah, the 22nd. So it's like less than 2 weeks.
Crazy, yes. Awesome aesthetic. I hope the combat and the movement is fluid and feels... I want it to feel at least like close to fast-paced like Nine Souls. That is just enjoyable. Hopefully you have those moments where you really feel awesome fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is unique in that, at least in the first one, you play as like a young girl.
But you do none of the fighting.
And you don't do the attacking. You like summon these spirits that attack next to you. So your character itself doesn't... I don't remember ever feeling like super like fast-paced or fluid. But
it's almost like more making a build for certain enemy or area types.
You can swap those different spirits in. Very cool.
That is Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist. Stoked about that. Number 6 for David. Let me send it over here. This looks awesome as well. This is a great pick.
Yeah, I really loved the first Tales of Iron. This is the sequel, Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. I really like the like gritty animal art style. In the first game, it was the frogs that were the enemy. In this game, it's bats. And I think it's supposed to be a bit bigger. You can go out and like hunt monsters and I think build up like a town. And it's a Metroidvania game as well with pretty difficult combat. You know, you gotta focus on dodging and rolling and attacking at the right time. Also has like a cool story. Pretty violent a little bit. The narrator in the first game is the voice actor that played Geralt in The Witcher. And I think he is also narrating this one. So it has like a awesome art, solid narrator. It's a really fun Metroidvania. The combat was really like heavy and like kind of like crunchy. So I hope that it retains all of that. And I like bats. So
I also like bats.
I know you love bats, but I think the bat enemies look really cool.
I like bats more than you like.
I think you do.
No. I see them as like miniature werewolves with wings.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen a deceased bat and gotten close to that thing, it's like a furry dog with wings. Like it's not supposed to be in this world.
Have you seen one? Wow.
I've seen one that was like in a frame.
Wow.
And they're very weird.
Huh. That one is the 28th of this month. So it's like a week after Ender Lilies. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish both of those in this month.
Amazing.
Anyways, very pumped for that one.
All right, number 6 for me. I haven't looked into this game in any fashion at all. But when I heard Metroid Prime 4, I had to go on the list because Samus got it going on. Now, these games are cool. And once again, my love for games comes down to sentimental feelings and nostalgia, and I remember morphing into a small ball, laying bombs everywhere, and trying to get through these maze of places and shooting stuff. So
Yeah, I love Metroid Prime. I had the collection on the Wii. That was Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. It's been
Ah,
a
yes.
long time since I've played those, but I liked all three of them. Um, and this game has been kind of in development hell, is what I would call it, for a while, where
Mm.
one team was making it, and then it got paused and scrapped and restarted by Retro Studios, who made Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And since they made that, one of my favorite platformers of all time, even though this seems like a little bit of a like switch, I feel like they maybe made some Metroid before. So, excuse me, I'm rooting for this one as well.
Can this be as good as the last 2D Metroid game, though?
Oh, Dread!
Yes.
I've heard that was amazing. I haven't played Dread yet.
I've only watched gameplay. It looks super, super fun.
Yeah, that's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Might not be the last time it's on this list.
I'm loving all your picks. This is number 5 for Dave here.
Okay,
Another
this
great
one
one.
launches in like 5 days. Donkey Kong Country is like my favorite platforming series. I think it's amazing, excellent music. I don't think David Wise did the music for this one, which is a bummer because he did for Tropical Freeze. But this one came out on the Wii, has these cool tiki villains. I'm really glad that this one is getting brought forward to the Switch, so that it can just be available in a pretty nice version forever. I'm excited to play this one. I'll probably wait a little bit until there's hopefully like a little bit of a price cut. Nintendo games don't generally get price cuts, but if I can get it for $40 instead of 60, that'd be a win.
So you've beat this with worse graphics.
Yeah, I have it downstairs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I don't remember this one as much as Tropical Freeze because Tropical Freeze is just so amazing.
Oh my gosh. Donkey Kong really is fantastic.
It is. If you have you played Tropical Freeze?
At a portion. Is
Oh,
it the one with the polar berries like stacking ice in it at you?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so good.
All right, number 5 for me is the next game after Ghost of Tsushima called Ghost of Yotai. And I know nothing about this as well as most of the games I've listed. I don't know much about them, but
I like going in blind, so
yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was typically not my favorite genre of game, but once I started playing it, it was absolutely beautiful. It was almost encouraging to go to photo mode and just take some pictures of your character. You had the 4 stances you would want to use. You'd want to change your stance to fight a guy with a shield or that type of thing. And they really pushed that mechanic on you. You almost couldn't take out enemies without using the proper stance.
Yep.
And so you really wanted to learn the game. I don't remember the story too well. That's just my memory. But that's number 5 for me because I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. And the games are just like super pretty. This game's gonna look amazing on the PlayStation 5. So
You
good
look
pick.
amazing.
Oh, thanks. On the PlayStation 5. All right, number 4 for me
Number 4 for you
is I have 2 games on this list, Devin, that I'm mad at.
Oh.
This is one of them. We'll get to the other one in a minute. So this is the last chance that this game has of being on a list for David. This game is called Little Devil Inside, and it's been being made for like a decade, and it was included in the PlayStation 5 reveal event in 2020. And now it's 2025, and it still isn't out. So I really hope it comes out this year. It has a really cool vibe. You're like this dude going on adventures, and I don't even fully know what kind of game it is. It has like this kind of strange like inventory system, and I think you're crafting and fighting weird animals. There's like this giant cat in one part. And like this cool map.
That system. Is a sweet map. Holy. I swear I've seen...
It's had a few different trailers like this, and I just love the vibe. It kind of reminds me of Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, I can see that. For some
reason. Just a weird map. I don't even know how it plays or what is going on. but I'm 2 in. But this is your last chance, little devil inside. I'm not going to talk about you on a top 10 list in 2026. So, just so you know.
So true. This is it. All right, I think that was number 4 for you. Number 4 for me is going to be the next game from the makers of It Takes Two, which was fantastic and extremely emotional, and it just sent a good message. I played it with a co-streamer of mine years ago, and it was very, very touching. And we really, I feel like, bonded over the game and had a fantastic time playing It Takes Two. And so I don't imagine this game will be any less immersive and wonderful, and once again co-op, and it looks like split screen.
Yeah, I think so. And it has that cool system where if you buy the game, then you get to give your friend a copy so they can play with you,
which is amazing,
which is so cool. I like the sci-fi and fantasy split, but
same.
The other game was like really focused on like a mom and dad, I think, that were going through like a tough time, and that's where like the emotional impact came from. So I wonder if this one will be going for that same level of impact, but it does look really cool. I like that they just announced this last month and it comes out in March. So like
yeah, that's amazing. That's what we like. Don't make us wait for so long.
4-month turnaround. That's amazing.
All right. After you beat that game, in the credits, Silk Song just starts.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
All right. Excuse me. My number 3, Devin already talked about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I love Metroid Prime. Don't really have much more to say than I already said, but super pumped about this one. Hopefully, I'll be playing it on my nice and shiny Switch 2 this year.
Oh, shoot. He already knows. He's already put that in the budget.
Yeah, can't buy any board games this year because I got to save up for that Switch 2, baby.
My number 3, we have another crossover. We don't even need to pull it up, but it's going to be Little Nightmares 3. I am stoked. Another horror genre, which is my very favorite genre by far. Co-op, cute type game.
Yeah.
Stoked for that. And then your number 2 is another crossover.
It's like we like the same kinds of games or something.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah, very pumped about this one. Comes out in 10 days or so. I think Ender Lilies was probably my second favorite Metroidvania game after Hollow Knight until I played Nine Souls this last month. Excuse me. Love Ender Lilies. I didn't even know this was happening. It's actually been out in early access for almost a year. But the full version 1.0 complete release of the game is January 22nd, I believe. So very pumped for this one. I hope, I don't even know what I hope for from this game. It seems like it's a different character. So I don't know if it's continuing the same story, but I love the artwork. The piano music in Ender Lilies is just amazing.
I like how the character looks like those old time like ceramic or porcelain dolls.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Like
kind of like the Bloodborne like lady. What's her name?
Lady.
The doll that like helps you upgrade.
I feel like her name is the doll or something.
Yeah, I think it is. So I agree. I think it's really cool. I like that it looks like they have upgraded the map system in this game, because that was my one complaint from Ender Lilies. The map was kind of boring. It's just rectangles. Map looks much prettier in this one, so super pumped, and only have to wait like 10 days. That's Ender Magnolia. Bloom in the Mist. It says the 23rd here, actually. So I'm not sure if it's the 22nd or 23rd.
I'm not going to take David's thunder because my number 2 is his number 1. So I guess we can kind of tag team this one a little bit if you want.
Sure. So I will jump in by saying this is the other game I'm mad at. And this is your last chance, Team Cherry. But this is my number 1 most anticipated game and has been for quite a few years. Thought it would have been out 2-3 years ago.
Oh, man, yeah.
But 'tis not. But even though it's not, Hollow Knight Silksong is my most anticipated game. I have to imagine it's coming out this year. I don't know what... I said this last year, though. Like, it's got to come out in 2023. Got to come out in 2024.
This looks so good.
It does look good.
I'm losing my mind. If it if they're making us wait this long and it is not way better than Nine Souls, I'm gonna lose it.
It's going to be excellent. I wonder, with how much time they've been taking, they have to have been like putting a lot of love into it. Or since they're a small team, I guess they could just work really slow because they've made so much stinking money.
That's a good point. They're like, we're not in any rush.
Yeah.
You guys can chill.
It will be weird to go back to one of these Metroidvania games, though, that doesn't seem to have a parry system. But the combat for Hornet does seem very unique. She fights a lot differently than like the knight.
Yeah, even the movement I saw of her traversing kind of at an upward diagonal. It's like she like shook and dashed in this weird direction.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play as a different character. I think that's a cool change.
Yeah, I agree. Hornet's awesome. And like the cool needle that she uses, which seems to have like thread
attached to it.
Can almost like grapple with it a little bit. So
yeah, maybe you can go fishing with it. You throw it into the water and dangle it in there.
Oh yeah.
That'd be sick.
Hollow Knight fish song. That would be very cool.
Hollow Knight fin span.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're both super stoked for that. That is a great number one pick for you, Dave.
Sorry about the cough, but yeah, that's my number one.
My number one, I also think is a great pick, but I've played like all these games and put a lot of hours into the third one, and that is going to be...
Yeah, this is a Devin game.
This is a Devin game. Borderlands 4. I'm hoping the graphics have improved slightly. I think they look pretty similar to 3 from what I've seen, but they haven't really leaked that much yet anyways. But I've never played a game... I've played a few games that you can make such a unique build to dominate everything. And the massive pool of weapons... and
almost infinite.
Upgrade. It really is. It's like you can get one weapon that's similar to another one, but the stats are slightly different and it has a different name. And crazy gun manufacturers and wacky enemies and hilarious boss fights. I don't know if you remember in the first boss fight.
That first boss fight is my favorite boss fight in Borderlands.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. What was his name?
Like in the disco, kind of the dance floor.
Yes. Oh, his name is on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, super excited for Borderlands 4. Obviously, this will be multiplayer.
Yeah.
If they took multiplayer out of this, that would be outrageous.
That would be.
But I don't know anything about who the enemies are in this. I know nothing else, but I will invest a lot of hours into this game.
Yeah, I imagine so. This is like that's a specific type of game that Devin really enjoys, where you can make a build and then like ultra perfect it, like little tiny micro perfections.
Yes, I did the same in Remnant. Yes, you hop on YouTube or you just do it yourself and test it.
Yeah.
And then try to carry people through a very hard end game areas. And that's what Borderlands does very well, is their end game. It's actually worth playing after the campaign because they'll do kind of like boss rush arenas that are extremely hard to beat.
Right.
And that's where you get a test if your build is actually good or if it's not.
Yeah.
But Borderlands 4 is my number one.
Awesome.
I mean, Silk Song is right there. So many of them are right there for me. But to mix it up.
I think 2025 seems like it's going to be a pretty good year for games. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sorry for the cough, everybody. I've been a little bit sick, but that is our top 10 for each of us video games coming out in 2025 that we are most amped about. Maybe there will be some surprises. What could be a fun surprise? You got Super Mario Galaxy 3. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
But if there isn't something that crazy, I imagine most of the games on these lists will be our favorites. We'll see. I do love a good surprise, a good shadow drop.
Oh yeah.
So
that makes you like really like a team.
Oh yeah.
Instead of like waiting on a team, they're like, just so you know, we included an entire expansion at launch. You're like, oh, thank you. Okay. I want to play all your games now.
Yep. Love that kind of confidence. I agree. All right, well, that's going to do it for this top 10 list here on Super Game Brothers. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.